Hello, welcome back to Sokobond Express. Last episode we finished off the C and H sections of Omega, and now we're gonna finish off the next two sections. So N1 and O1. Let's start nitrogen first because that's next in the in order of atomic number. Alright, so looks like we need to form two oxygen molecules here. This is an electron which can only be collected by a positive ion. So probably something like this. And basically, yeah, that electron allows a bonding to occur. Okay. The difference between artificial and natural flavors lies in how they're made, not the end result. Artificial vanilla flavor molecules, vanillin, are identical to naturally extracted vanillin. Yeah, because you can, just use chemical reactions to create molecules that produce flavor. So, quote-unquote artificial flavors are not flavors that taste similar. They are literally just man-made versions of the molecules that create the flavor naturally. Right, and two. One hydrogen, one non-hydrogen. Why this doesn't work because nothing can be outside the play area at the end of the level. So yeah. So we need to have two things that bond to the left. So one way I can think of this happening is... well, this is a very simple way of having it work. This has to collect an ion first, but moving up or down creates a bond no matter what. Moving around like this will not though, because this potential bond occurs before an electron is made, so there is no bonding. So something like this would work. Great. Oh, is this just simply two puzzles put together? But sure. In the 1800s, wallpaper could be deadly. Pigments like Schlie's green contained arsenic and gave off toxic vapor when damp. It might even have contributed to Napoleon's death. Interesting. I mean, I would say maybe an autopsy would have confirmed that, but maybe, all the arsenic gas or arsenic fumes probably were dissipated by the time an autopsy could be made. Alright, N3. Oh geez, this is much bigger. Okay, oxygen needs to collect both electrons here, so somehow it needs to skirt around an end. One way C could then avoid that is by moving across like this. And I'm thinking, because C needs to bond with it needs to make 4 bonds, it's C with oxygen and oxygen. Like, this makes the most sense to me. Then oxygen can form 2 bonds to make H2O, which seems plausible. I do have to note that it looks like at the end of this, nothing can be on the top and on the left of the oxygen there, so something like this would work. Yeah, I think this works. Alright, not that challenging. Cool. The deadly sting of some jellyfish is caused by proteins called porins. Porins create pores, is that why that's called that? Effectively punching holes in our cells and letting the contents leak out to disastrous effect. Interesting. Proteins, I say. Alright, it looks like the end section is already complete. I feel like this is probably unlocked by completing each section. I think like last episode I said this thing fills up slowly, and I assume that it fills up based on how many you've completed. I was right, but you need a lot less to actually fill up the section. Alright, so maybe these are like the easier ones, and these are the challenge levels after that. So let's see how much harder this gets. This looks very similar to an existing level, I think. I'm almost certain like H3 has this exact structure, or H4. There is something in here that has, yeah, almost this exact structure, with only H's and O's. I guess N4 is like a reprise of that. So this oxygen needs to collect both of these. It's 1 oxygen each, so I'm guessing it's 2 water molecules. Okay. How do I collect both molecules and still leave space for this? Maybe this works? No, this wouldn't have any space. Yeah, in what world would I even be able to leave enough space for this? Like, I'm thinking about the negative space now. Just, maybe this would be fine. Yeah, this looks fine. I do note that, it's probably has to go down here though. So that there isn't like a clash. Because if I went the other way around, then there'll be things off the play area. So this would have to happen probably. Now I know that causes a clash, but I could probably avoid that. I could probably avoid that if, number one, I took a path above to prevent any collisions, and two, I collected this immediately to leave some space. So now there's space. This will pass through without any collisions. Now I need to create a molecule that doesn't go above or to the right, but I think this solves it. And I don't think there's any problem with this, but I did this so that there's a definite amount of time up here so that there would be a collision down there. Obviously there isn't any problem with that, so I think I can just reduce this to something like this and the thing will still work out. Yeah, okay. Cool. Uranium is famous for its role in nuclear technology, but craftspeople have used it to color glass. So if you see if you have any by looking under a UV light. Uranium glass glows green. Well, say that's 5 times fast. Yeah, I think like Nile Red, which is a chemistry YouTuber, made uranium glass at one point, which does glow green under UV light. It is also highly radioactive, so if you do find that, you should probably dispose of it immediately. Depending on the amount of uranium though. Either do that or store it in like a lead box. Yeah, it is radioactive, which is really bad. Alright, N5. Okay, this needs to collect both electrons. This is like the same puzzle as like 2 puzzles ago. So 1 CO2, 1 H2O. How would I do that? What? How would I collect both oxygens without blocking off one of these? The only way I can think of it is like going around, maybe. Oh, it could also be this, right? This plus O2. Yeah, that's also one way that could happen. And I guess I'm going to collect both electrons just to show that structure. Yeah, O2 and CHOH. That will also work. CHOH being methanol. 1 oxygen, 1 methanol. That is one way I can think of it working as well, which allows things to be a lot more simple. Now I need to figure out how oxygen can collect both of these though, without blocking the way of this. What I can think of it happening is probably... Okay, this works but only forms 1 bond because you have 1 electron. That fails. Is it possible to do something fancy here? Could form H2O2, but CO isn't a thing that can happen. Yeah, so no. I probably have to collect this first. Collect both electrons first. How do I do that though? Like without blocking off. Oh geez, what is this? This doesn't feel like physically possible at all. I don't even say I could start. This needs to collect both electrons. This is 100% true. So while our final molecular structure is unknown, we do know this has to collect both electrons. And upon doing that, it has to either form H2O or O2, I think. You can't bond with this C. And bonding with bonding with more than one oxygen breaks how C works. C has to bond with oxygen. It can't just bond with hydrogens alone. So this oxygen must bond with either one oxygen or water, or form water. Okay. How? Is it possible to collect this and then slide around like that? That's one way that could happen. But the problem is you can't actually go back like this, so it's even... No. I thought you could use this as an alleyway, but... No, you have to end like that. And by ending there, basically this has to be used to directly connect to the end. You can't end on the side. It doesn't work. This goes around maybe? I mean, going around it looks okay. Like, something like this looks maybe fine. This might be okay actually. If I went collecting this, and then collecting this, yeah, actually that does work. Okay, there you go. Yeah. Also, there was a collision there, but this oxygen was removed fast enough so that no collision would have occurred. And there you go. Alright, before that, what does a hint tell us? It is in fact what we're looking for. Okay, cool. Nice. Ozone gas acts as a pollutant when it's close to ground level, but ozone in the upper atmosphere acts as a planetary sunscreen, shielding us from harmful UV radiation. Right. Yeah, it blocks UV rays. There's like a huge, massive hole like in the Earth right now. I think it's like around the South Pole. There existed one point where like most countries gathered together to agree on stopping this hole from growing. And at one point, there was enough ozone gas that this hole began to heal. But I think right now it's no longer healing. In fact, it might be even getting worse, which is really sad. Yeah, but this is like, is this greenhouse gases? This is not, like this is a result of climate change, but it's not really a greenhouse gas thing. Yeah, so unfortunately, climate change, really sad. All right, N6. Okay, this needs to collect all 3 electrons now. Afterwards, it could form nitrogen gas. So something like this. Something like this. Whoa, I don't want that. This. And then this could form the CHOH as promised. Like, something like that. But, you know, a lot of issues with that. Anything else could happen? I could also form, like, I could also form this kind of thing. Yeah, there are more opportunities now. So for example, I could have N, H, and O form one, and then C, H, and N form another. And you know, it's pretty hard to make a molecule, but yeah, this is something that can happen. So this here and this here. Not like that. Like this here and this here. Those are 2 molecules I can form, besides just the usual N2 and that. This is the equivalent of the CO2 H2O of the previous level. What if C reacted with O? I mean, if that's so, then the C would have 2 electrons, so you can't bond with nitrogen. You'd have to bond with a hydrogen, and then therefore another hydrogen. Okay. Okay. If we were to choose that path, then this nitrogen needs to find all 3 electrons. Okay, maybe I guess the first thing we need to try and find is a way to get all 3 electrons and then end somewhere without blocking the other train. How? It feels almost as if, to collect both of these, you'd almost be forming somewhat of a closed area for this exit. Which means that upon getting these 2 electrons, you need to immediately enter this area and end. That, or you enclose something. Then when you collect all 3, like, you then go and collect this thing. This is a horrible, horrible way of doing it, but yeah. Right? Maybe. So one way I could do that is I could enclose nitrogen first and then collect all 3. That doesn't seem very possible with this hydrogen though. Or I could collect 2, bond with oxygen, then collect 1 and bond with hydrogen. Doesn't really seem like a thing that you can do. Okay. What if I went this way? Then I don't want to bond immediately because collecting more electrons prevents extra bonding. If I want to make N3, I need to collect all 3 electrons first, which is beginning to seem more and more unlikely. So instead, how about we go with the HNO thing? Could do that. Could try and collect both electrons. The big problem is collecting this electron. Like, that's just so far away. So maybe that's the first step. Like this, maybe? Can do that. The problem with this is like, maybe this is okay. No. I don't think so. Either that, or I begin by doing this, which prevents much movement, but it's entirely plausible. Like going around like that? That doesn't feel very right either. I find I'm closing a lot of things by doing this. Okay. How about we start with this C? No, I feel like that wouldn't really help me. But you know, I could make some sort of path. I can't actually get in and get out, can I? No, I don't think I can. How the heck? How? What? Crossing over to the other side, does that do anything? No, in fact it blocks us, like, completely. Yeah, to enter and to exit this C means I can't go in anymore. So I have to do something else, maybe like going around like this. But that will require a lot more finagling, because I need to connect to the O this time, which means I need to make CHOH, which doesn't feel right. Okay. How do I collect all 3 electrons first? Collecting all 3 seems hard, because I need to make a really big hole, which is plausible, but not entirely what see, firstly, that bond already occurs, which kind of doesn't make sense. I could then do this, do this and then collect this and then go back. But no, I don't think so. I really don't think it's that. Is there any other structure? I don't think there's any other structure I can do. I can build. Nothing much really. I still think it's the HNO. Yeah, I still think it's HNO. I cannot figure out how to get to O properly though. Okay. Let's say I try something else. Do you think? No, absolutely not. Yeah, it just doesn't feel possible to collect this after that. Can't do that. Can I? No. No, that's not right. Still thinking of NHO. But if I were to think about NHO, how? And I think it's NHO because how do I make CHOH? Like how? The good thing about CHOH is that once I form this, I can immediately just go back and win. But the problem with that is that it's kind of tough to do that, isn't it? If I were to try, if I were even to try, a lot of things would fail. It's just these electron placements are so horrendous. I can't do anything without like breaking the puzzle first. I was thinking of going around? Maybe. Yeah, I don't want to do that though. So like, does someone doing this work? Maybe. Maybe. Ugh. Yeah, I know, I'm just really confused by this. Confused. How does this end collect all three? If it was CNH, doesn't it have to go this way? really feel like I would have to. Sorry if this is like been really quiet so far. My brain is just finding it really hard to solve this one. What am I doing with this? Alright. I want to figure out how to even get NHO to work out. Let's try something. What is one way for NHO to work out? This. Problems with that. C has no access to N anymore. What if I went around? Seems to fail, but may not necessarily if this went up first to collect it. Okay. Okay. Question is... This age is now kind of broken. Oh! No! Because the bond forms as it exits. I thought this wouldn't have worked. Oh, look at that. Jeez, okay. So I guess my first attempt at finding NHO just works out. Wow. That is crazy. Okay. Flamingos are famously reddish pink, but the hue comes from the pigments in their food, not the birds themselves. The redder the bird, the more pigment in its diet. What does it eat? I have no idea what flamingos eat. But yeah, that's why white flamingos seem to exist sometimes. They just don't eat enough pigment, I guess. Alright, so the hint states that it was in fact those two things that we need to make. Alright, so that was intended. Not really, because this was like an L shape like this, I think. Yeah, we're having to make two mirror images. Two chiral compounds, you might say. They're not really chiral. But yeah. Okay, well that was one long level. Took up like 70% of the episode. Everything else went smoothly except for this one. But it's okay. Next time, next episode we'll finish up this one. Yeah, the oxygen one. And we'll see what is going on in here. This big one. I'm gonna expect it probably like a huge level, but we'll see. Until then though, hope you enjoyed the video. I'll see you guys next time. Bye bye.